Imagine you're at a party, surrounded by people. Some are the life of the room, cracking jokes and telling stories. Others are quietly observing, soaking in everything. And then there are those who seem to know everyone and effortlessly connect with anyone they meet. What makes these people so different? The answer lies in something called personality types. Understanding these types can help you not only navigate social situations, but also improve your communication, relationships, and even your career. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating world of personality types, starting with the Myers-Briggs system. Buckle up, because it's about to get interesting. What makes these people so different? The answer lies in something called personality types. Understanding these types can help you not only navigate social situations, but also improve your communication, relationships, and even your career. Now, before making it a point to analyze others, you must first begin to recognize personality types. Personalities change so much from person to person that learning how to identify the personality of someone else can be incredibly beneficial to you. When you can more or less piece together how someone thinks or what their default states of being may be, you will start to have a better general idea of how to predict your own behaviors will be interpreted. If you know, for example, that you are dealing with an introvert, you may make it a point to give the other person some breathing room rather than making it a point to insist on confrontation and problem solving right that moment. From a slightly darker perspective, those who utilize dark psychology often use this step and understanding the personality type or tendencies of those around them to help them identify their next targets. This is because some personality types are far more tolerant than others, and those more tolerant people are going to be more likely to put up with problematic behaviors. Ultimately, when you stop to read someone else's personality type, you will not get quite as clear of an image as you would get if they, for example, stopped everything that they were doing and suddenly made it a point to take a personality test. But you will still get valuable information that could serve you well. Within this chapter, we will be discussing one of the more popular methods to divide personality type, the Myers-Briggs personality types. You will be guided through each of the 4 categories that people get parsed into, giving you a total of 16 different personality types based on how people see the world. You will be guided through introversion versus extroversion, whether people go with what they can observe or sense or their intuition, whether people think or feel, and whether they go based on judgment or sensing the world around them. This may not make sense yet, but you will be guided through each of those categories. Lastly, you will understand how to more or less guess what someone else's personality type is based on a brief guide to the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types. Please note that there are several different ways that people can stop and take apart personality types. You may see people refer to the Enneagram, another way to figure out personality type. You may see people discuss the 4 temperaments. Ultimately, there are many different ways that you can utilize to figure out the minds of others. Which you prefer is largely a matter of preference for yourself. Personality is, simply put, who you are as a person. When you are talking about personality, you are looking at the differences between how you may think, feel, and behave versus how other people choose to think, feel, and behave. It then takes into consideration how those 3 categories come together to make you as a whole. In general, you may hear people describe someone else as introverted or extroverted, or that they are bold and unique, or maybe timid. These are all characteristics that come together. These are all characteristics that come together to create your own personality. Your personality traits come from several different aspects of life. Some are genetic inheritances, others are genetic predispositions that required a certain sort of activation somewhere in life, and others still are simply learned responses to the world around you. Ultimately, when you want to look at your personality or the personality of other people, you will be looking at the Big Five personality traits. These can be remembered by the acronym OCEAN. The human experience is painted in diverse strokes, with countless shades of personality shaping our interactions and navigating the world. Unveiling the intricate tapestry of our individualities, the Big Five personality traits serve as a powerful lens, offering insights into our preferences, motivations, and behaviors. Today, we embark on a deep dive into each of these fundamental dimensions, unpacking their complexities and exploring their influence on our lives. Openness to experience, embracing the uncharted. Imagine a mind teeming with curiosity, a spirit ignited by novelty, and a heart open to diverse perspectives. This essence captures the essence of openness to experience, a trait defining your approach to the world. Individuals high in openness possess a vibrant imagination, readily embracing new ideas and experiences. They find fulfillment in intellectual pursuits, savoring the richness of art, philosophy, and complex concepts. Their thirst for knowledge extends beyond established paths, leading them to delve into alternative viewpoints and unconventional experiences. Think of the artist experimenting with bold techniques, the scientist exploring uncharted frontiers, or the traveler venturing off the beaten path, all driven by the irresistible allure of the unknown. However, like a double-edged sword, excessive openness can manifest as impulsivity, difficulty focusing, and even susceptibility to manipulation. Finding a balance between embracing novelty and grounding oneself becomes crucial for harnessing the full potential of this multifaceted trait. This particular trait is crucial to imagination or being able to find insight. When someone happens to be highly open to experiences, they tend to be creative and adventurous. They are typically quite curious and want to learn more about the world around them. They are excited about exploring the world. However, those who score far lower on their openness to experience the world tend to be far more rigid. They like tradition and schedule and are aversive to change in general. They will resist anything that is unfamiliar and usually dislike when conversations or discussions lean toward theoretical. They want to live in comfort without worrying about what will happen next or how they will need to proceed throughout life. Conscientiousness, the symphony of self-discipline. Picture an individual radiating organized efficiency, their goals meticulously planned and actions guided by unwavering self-discipline. This embodies the essence of conscientiousness, a trait reflecting your approach to structure and achievement. Individuals high in conscientiousness are masters of self-control, diligently adhering to rules and commitments. They possess a methodical work ethic, approaching tasks with meticulous planning and follow-through. Their drive for achievement fuels their pursuit of excellence, often making them reliable and dependable individuals. Think of the meticulous planner, the unwavering athlete, or the dedicated professional, all fueled by the internal compass of conscientiousness. However, this trait, too, can have its pitfalls. Excessive rigidity can stifle spontaneity and hinder adaptation, while perfectionism can breed anxiety and self-criticism. Finding a balance between structure and flexibility becomes key to optimizing the strengths of conscientiousness. This personality trait is all about how thoughtful someone is as an individual. It takes into consideration how likely someone is to be able to control their impulses or make sure that they are constantly working toward their goals. Those who are largely conscientious are usually the ones who pay meticulous attention to details. They feel the need to plan exactly how things will play out and always consider how other people are likely to feel as a result of their own behaviors and tendencies. On the other hand, those who are not particularly conscientious are usually very dismissive of structure. Things will happen when they happen and not a moment sooner. They do not mind, and sometimes even prefer, the unpredictability of chaos and are usually not particularly disciplined. They will procrastinate or simply fail when it comes to achieving deadlines or goals. Extroversion, the dance of social energy. Imagine a room buzzing with conversation, laughter echoing through the air, and an individual at the center, effortlessly drawing others in. This portrays the essence of extroversion, a trait reflecting your level of social engagement and energy. Individuals high in extroversion derive energy from being around others, thriving in social interactions and readily taking the lead. They are naturally expressive, often the life of the party, and adept at initiating conversation. They are naturally expressive, often the life of the party, and adept at initiating conversations and building rapport. Leader, the enthusiastic storyteller, or the entertainer drawing a crowd, all fueled by the vibrant energy of extroversion. However, like a roaring fire, excessive extroversion can burn out if left unchecked. Social dominance can overshadow introspective thought, and neglecting solitude can lead to emotional fatigue. Finding a balance between engagement and alone time becomes crucial for harnessing the full potential of extroversion. This particular trait encompasses how one views being able to socialize with others. In particular, those who are extroverted tend to feel like they are energized by other people or engaging in social interaction. They tend to enjoy others and will go out of their way to get out and be social. Those who are not particularly extroverted are usually referred to as introverts, and introverts are typically quite reserved. They feel like they must expend energy when interacting and engaging with people out in public. Rather than being energized by social activity, they feel drained and often feel the need to retreat and relax. This does not mean that they are necessarily antisocial, but rather that socialization, no matter how enjoyed, is exhausting, and they need to spend the time to recharge after the fact. Agreeableness, the symphony of empathy and cooperation. Imagine a person radiating warmth and kindness, readily cooperating with others and prioritizing group harmony. This embodies the essence of agreeableness, a trait reflecting your tendency to trust, cooperate, and value others' needs. Individuals high in agreeableness possess a strong sense of empathy, readily putting themselves in others' shoes and offering support. They are often peacemakers, seeking compromise and avoiding conflict. Think of the compassionate friend, the selfless volunteer, or the diplomat navigating disagreements, all guided by the gentle hand of agreeableness. However, this trait, too, can have its downsides. Excessive agreeableness can lead to people-pleasing, putting personal needs aside and neglecting self-advocacy. Finding a balance between cooperation and assertiveness becomes crucial for harnessing the full potential of agreeableness. This trait looks at trust, kindness, and other behaviors that would be deemed pro-social. Effectively, they are happily cooperative and are willing to help others. In fact, They are usually quite empathetic and care strongly about how other people feel. They want to make sure that they are helping other people. On the other hand, people who are less agreeable typically care about and empathize less with those around them. They do not care much when they see people suffering and may even tend to manipulate others, having no problems with using other people to get what they want or need. All they care about is how they get what they want. Neuroticism, the spectrum of emotional sensitivity. Imagine a person wrestling with anxiety, prone to experiencing negative emotions like fear, sadness, and anger. This portrays the essence of neuroticism, a trait reflecting your tendency to experience and react to negative emotions. Individuals high in neuroticism are more sensitive to stress and prone to worry, often perceiving threats and dangers in daily situations. They might ruminate on past mistakes and struggle with emotional regulation. Think of the anxious overthinker, the easily frustrated individual, or the person prone to worry, all grappling with the heightened sensitivity of neuroticism. However, this trait, too, can have its advantages. Increased awareness of potential threats can lead to cautiousness and careful planning, while sensitivity to emotions can foster empathy and compassion. Finding healthy coping mechanisms and emotional regulation tools becomes crucial for harnessing the potential of neuroticism. The last trait is neuroticism. This looks at the emotional instability and moodiness of an individual. When you are highly neurotic, you are typically quite moody in general, with higher levels of anxiety or irritability. You may be easily upset and struggle to cope with stress when you are facing it. Those who are not neurotic, on the other hand, tend to be far more emotionally stable. They are resilient and relaxed. They are able to cope with stress as it arises without worrying too much about it. They can manage their own emotions and are rarely stuck in feelings of despair.